Okay, welcome again to Horses and Archery, and we are on part 4 of our archery horse series. And what we're doing is we're starting 2 horses. One's a quarter horse, and this one's a quarter horse paint. And because of the last session, which is actually the first session with this horse on the series, the horse was giving me some red flags. He was pinning his ears, ringing his tail, and all of that. And so I decided to do him in the arena. In the round pen this time, instead of trying to do him outside, because I was wanting to get on him and ride and shoot. And as you're going to see today, I'm not going to get that done. You see how much more leery he is of the target. I switched targets. This is a different target than what he's seen the other day, but he's way scared of it this time for some reason, and he's going way around it. So I'm just going to continue to walk him back and forth. I'm going to just do it all over again that I was doing yesterday, and just try to get him okay with this target. And again, I was wanting to ride him today, but I'm going to get him rode, but I'm not going to be able to shoot off of him, and y'all will be able to see that. And again, I'm just going to walk him back and forth and back and forth. Now, there comes a time that when a horse does the wrong thing too many times or so many times, it becomes the right thing, okay? With walking around this target, if you keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going, and he just keeps circling around it, and then he gets okay with just circling around it, you don't want to teach him to circle around the target. So you want to change up what you're doing a little bit, because again, they'll do the wrong thing so many times that in their mind it becomes the right thing to do. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to ask him to move in between me and the target, and I just changed it up a little bit because he started to become relaxed with just walking around it, and I don't want that to happen. Okay, so I'm making him go in between me and the target. And I'm not, as you can see, I'm just not getting real assertive with it, but I am insistent that he goes. And I'm not going to spank him or anything right now, and for doing this, because I wanted him to stay relaxed. I want it to be a good thing. And I'm just going to continue to do this until he relaxes. Okay. And as you see, I'm going to even mix it up even more than this. And again, I'm just doing it just like I would if I was going to send him around. If you go back and look at the restarts, this is what I'm doing. I'm just directing him around me. I'm directing him between me and him. Between me and the target. And again, he knows to do this. He's just hesitant because he doesn't want to go by that target. I'll give him a little break, and we'll ask him and show him the rope, swing it, and if I have to, I'll touch him with it. And he goes on through. And I just continue to do this for quite a while, 5 or 10 minutes. And you see now he's starting to ease up with it. He's starting to get okay with it a little more. And so I just walk him up to the target, let him smell it. Okay. Now, if I'm asking him to go through there and he wants to stop and smell the target or stand by it, I'm going to let him. Okay. The whole purpose of this is to get him okay with the target. I'm going to walk past it, ask him to look at it. You see he's starting to do a little bit better. Now, this is like 10 minutes of doing the other, asking him to go in between it. For some reason, he is really keyed up today. and you're going to see that he's just going to get mad, okay, later on. But it's one of the reasons why I don't like to mess with buckers too much, because if they're bucking and continue to buck, it's because they've been taught that, and they've been let get away with it. And to confront that, to fix that, you've got to confront it, okay? So this horse, what it was, is this horse has been, I'm pretty sure, I don't know this for a fact, but just in his training when he was started, like I said, he's been kind of cowboyed, just been made to do stuff. And so he hadn't never got okay with it. All right, he just does it because, and a little resentful about being told to do things. And what's happened is that the guy that trained him probably could mash on him pretty good, and he'd listen, And but then others got a hold of the horse after, is what I'm thinking, and let him start getting away with stuff whenever he challenged them. And when they did that, they basically taught him to fight. Okay, somebody has, because that's what he's doing. Again, if you remember, I was telling you the first day that I went to work with this horse. He turned his hindquarters to me and tried to kick me. He was going to chase me out the pen if he could have. I didn't let him. But again, I'm just going to ask him to go in between and me and the target, and then I'm going to ask him to go around the outside of the target. I'm just changing it up. And the thing is while I'm doing this, I'm kind of killing two birds with one stone again. I'm working on being able to handle him in hand. Okay, so I'm strengthening my control of the horse at the same time, desensitizing him to the target. And I just keep doing this for 5 or 10 more minutes. I just kept doing it. And again, this isn't a timed event. You just got to do it till they're okay with it. Okay? And if they start getting stuck in something, if they just having a hard time with it, just kind of change it up and keep it new. You see, started off just walking by, then I asked him to go in between us, in between me and the target, and then I asked him to go around the outside and then back in between me. And as you can see now, he's starting to get okay with the target. It's getting better and better. I'll just walk him right on by, and he's doing okay. Now again, my goal today was to shoot my bow off of him, and surprise, surprise, he was scared of the target. So now we had to desensitize him to the target again. And so that's what we're doing. Whenever you see something the horse isn't okay with, you need to don't worry about what you wanted to do today, what your goals were today. You got to address what the problem is right now. So again, so now I'm gonna go ahead and ride him. So I pulled him back away from the target, and again just asked him to move around a little bit. Kind of if there's any anxiety, I just kind of rubbed it off, Kind of messed with him a little bit, and then I'm gonna come over here and put his bridle on. Now you're gonna see that when I start off, everything's going to be pretty good. Okay, he's not going to do too bad. He's going to take walking around real good. You notice, you see how he's starting to ring his tail a little bit. His ears are pinned just a little bit, but they're not too bad. He's more or less paying attention to me, but that tail is telling me he's not really okay with this. He's still kind of apprehensive about it. And not in a good way. He's irritated. He's not scared. He's irritated. So I'm just going to walk him around and bring him around the left and the right. Going to circle him around. Going to get some direction out of him. And he does okay. I just rode him around like that for 5 or 10 minutes, hoping that he would settle down a little bit, and he really didn't. But you see, he's not too worried about the target. He walked on past it okay, which is a good thing. But before I go get my quiver and stuff, my bow and arrows and everything, I need to get him to walk, trot, canter. And then I'm going to put the quiver on him, walk, trot, canter. And then I'm going to put the arrows on, walk, trot, canter, and do it with my bow, walk, trot, canter. Okay? That was a sequence. That's what I'm hoping to do. So right now I'm just walking him and introducing him to the target, and he's doing okay. You see his tail's not swishing too much more. He is now. You can see when I start trying to ask him to trot. You see that tail? And look at his ears. He's not liking it. He's pinning those ears back, man. He starts ringing that tail, and he's starting to get irritated. Okay, but I'm just going to kind of ignore it and just keep on going. I ask him to turn around a little bit, change directions. What I'm trying to do is just changes his thought pattern, trying to get his mind off of wanting to be rebellious, trying to give him something else to think about. So we turned around a little bit and changed directions, and not doing no good. He's like, I don't like this. Okay. And so we just keep on going. And again, I'll just change directions with him. Ask him to turn around. And you can see the horse has a pretty decent handle. So somebody got something out of him at one time, But all of this rebellious stuff is all that's man-made. All of it's man-made. Guys, if you start these horses right, you don't have any of this. It's just difficult when you kind of mess up. And so now I'm going to ask him to canter, and that's going to escalate things even more. Okay, I trotted him around for about 10 minutes, quite a while, and his attitude never changed. It never got any better. So I said, well, we're just going to go ahead and I'm going to ask him to canter. And if you see, he's not wanting to canter. I'm cantering with my body. Whenever I'm turning him like this is when I feel him start to hump. I can feel him thinking about bucking. So when he does that, I turn him out of it. Okay, I can just feel it under me, and just before he has an opportunity to break into, I turn him. Okay, that's what I'm doing. So I'm asking him, and he's just not having none of it. Got a little bit out of him right there, but he went right back down to a trot. He's just not, he just says, I'm not going to do it. Not doing it. And I'm kicking him. I don't have anything to reinforce this. I don't have any spurs on, and I have these little short reins. And he knows that. He knows it. He says, I'm not doing it, and you can't make me. Okay? And now I caught him a couple of times before he started bucking, so he kind of, I think he's tried all of this. So 10 minutes later, I kind of cut a lot of it out, so you just don't have to sit there and watch me ride him and ride him and ride him. This was about an hour session or longer on this, so I didn't have any way to reinforce it, so I am going to change my bridle. I got down and just let him back and forth around the target. Just to kind of let him unwind and think about things. And right now he's thinking, I got away with it, sucker. That's what's going through his mind. But my main objective right now, or was to get him used to that target. And I didn't want to lose that. So that's why I did that. And I know I gave him a little break, but I had to go get the bridle anyway. He was going to get a break anyway, so I showed him the target again. So now I changed bridles, and I got a bridle with long split reins. Those reins are probably 8 foot long or so, maybe 9 foot. I got some pretty long ones, and it might be longer than that. I don't know. But again, I just changed my bridle, got some longer reins, kind of moved him around, make sure he's okay with them. He's not too scared of them. And then we're going to ask him again. So if you notice, I'm not just pouring the coals to him, all right? Start off, it's going to be a slow transition. I'll ask him to walk, then I'm going to ask him to trot, and then I'm going to ask him to canter. But this time, he's going to have to canter, okay? And you're going to notice when I start swinging those reins, when I'm asking the canter to reinforce it, I hit myself, and then I hit the saddle, and then I smack him. Okay, that's what I'm doing, and so I'm going to hitting kind of like my legs, and I'm hitting the saddle, and now I'm going to go ahead and bite him with him right there. I just bit him, just smacked him on the butt, and he got up into a canter, and I'm gonna hold him there for a little while, for a little bit. As he tried to go back down, I asked him to get back up. You get back up in that canter. I tell you to get out. And right now we're just having a pretty good argument. He's got a bad case of the don't wants. So I let him come on back down to a trot and ask him to get back up. And I'll just continue to do that. I'll let him come down to a trot and walk and stop. And turned him to a stop. We're going to go the other way. Again, I just ask him to walk, then I ask him to trot, and then I'm going to ask him to canter. And when he doesn't canter, I'm going to get him with the reins. Again, I'm going to hit myself, then the saddle, then the horse. See, I'm asking. There he goes. He went. Okay. So I just turned him to a stop. Then set for a second. do it again. He did a little better that time, but it's not over. I asked him to go, and he's backing up. I had to make him go forward. Again, I'm going to start with a walk. And I'm going to kick him up to a trot, and then a canter. Just slow transitions, easy transitions. I'm not going to just pour the coals to him. I'm not trying to pick a fight with him, but he is going to listen to me. Okay? So that's what you have to do. You got to be a leader. You got to be a firm leader, but you got to be a fair leader. So I'm giving him all the opportunity in the world to do what I'm asking him. And as easy as he will let me be on him. Circle him down to a stop. Give him a little bit of a break. Ask him to go again. Tail starts swishing, goes in reverse, his tail starts swishing, and then he submits, walking. And again, I'm going to transition up to a trot. And then I'm going to ask him to canter. And there he goes. Took off pretty good. A lot better. He's still mad. He is mad as all get out. But he's listening. And he'll get over all of that. He'll figure out all that's just nonsense and he doesn't have to do it. We stopped him, backed him up a little bit, give him a break. I'm just going to walk him up to the target and make sure he's okay. Walk him around the target. If you notice, the target's not a bad thing anymore. You ain't worried about that target at all. That's a good thing. Hopefully the next time I ride him, he won't do all this protesting. But again, when you have a horse that's really bad about bucking, that's the one thing, the reason why I don't do buckers, because ones that's been taught to buck, you're going to have to face it. You're going to have to, they will buck with you, and you're going to have to ride them through and teach them that is not the correct thing to do. That's why I don't do it anymore. I like my knees the way they are. I don't want them slammed up against the sides of the pen and hit the ground, get broken ribs and all that other good stuff. I just do not do that anymore. There was once upon a time that I thought that was the best thing since sliced bread. I loved it. I like to do it. Very seldom hit the ground, but not anymore. Not me. So this is about aggressive as I get. The type of horse. If they're any worse than this, I don't fool with them. I send them to Michael, my son. Now he'll line one out for you. He's really, really good with problem horses. Just a thing of getting him to have time to take them. He's got about a 6 months to a year waiting list most of the time. Again, I'm just going to keep doing this until he kind of submits. See, I had to spank him again. Having to spank him again. I'm asking him to canter, and he wasn't. What I want him to do is to do it willingly. He needs to turn loose of this stuff. Go ahead and bring him up to the target again. Let him look at things. I don't want to lose that. Again, that was one of my main objectives, was to, when I started, once I found out that he was scared of that target like this. And so now what I'm going to do is make sure that he's okay with these reins. I stopped him right there next to the target. I'm gonna move the reins around, kind of shake them around and swing them a little bit and make sure he's okay with that. I don't want him getting scared of these reins. I want him to understand that I'm doing that because I'm correcting him, not because I'm just trying to whip him. He doesn't have to be worried about it if he's not doing anything wrong. So I'm going to go ahead and end it right here. And I'm going to get off. And again, just walk him by the target. Done great. I don't want to lose that. Done really good. Again, the main hole that I found in this horse was just his attitude, you know. And again, with the quarter horse there, his main deal was just his attitude. This one's not quite as well trained as the quarter horse was or is, but he's doing all right. He's got a pretty good handle on him. He just has a bad attitude. And again, a horse with a bad attitude reflects on training. Okay, it's how they were handled. And so there you go. If you're liking these videos, again, just press your like button and share them and subscribe, and I'll have some more. We're going to continue on with these horses, and you'll see how we're going to work them through their problems. And again, thank you very much for tuning in, and I'll see you another day.